So, friends, let us lay the foundation of this workshop together in our first meeting. As I shared, the deep intention of this workshop is to share as deep, compassionate friends what touches our hearts, our beings, our lives. What are the questions which matter us a lot? What are we deeply looking for from our lives? So together we are going to look into all these fundamental questions. From a space which is not dominated by the intellect or thought. Can we together awaken a different source of being, a different source of energy? We are all familiar with one type of energy, and it is not a big secret. The energy with which we live day and night is the energy of thought, which is the energy of the mind, which is the energy of the past, of memories. Because of whatever reasons, unfortunately, this has happened in our lives. We don't have to go much into the reasons of it because of culture, because of our wrong education, various conditionings. But the fact is, our default mode has become a very mechanical, repetitive structure. We are mostly living from the head. Worrying, fearing, projecting stories about the past, present, and future. And this is very interesting that though we may be all aware about it, but somehow there is a sense of helplessness, as if some mode has started, and which feels also, if we are little bit attentive, false, but still we continue in this. And the purpose of the teachings, what J. Krishnamurti and other teachers have shared, is to awaken all of us to how we are living, what we are living. Unless we are awake to that fact, how we are living, there can't be any transformation. If we are not aware how mechanically, reactively we are living as the prisoner of our thoughts, of our minds, of our stories, if we are not aware of this fact, then there is no possibility of awakening or freedom. And our big question is, how can there be a shift, a transformation, a deep transformation from this way of living, which is mechanical, repetitive, based on the past energy of the mind? How can there be a shift from this old energy to a totally new way of living, a new consciousness? And so many teachers have appeared on this earth, and they have been trying to show the other path, the pathless path, with which perhaps we are not so familiar. So, what happens when we become awake to this fact, the fact of living in this field of conditioning? Then we can also become aware the consequence of it. The consequence is crystal clear, and that is living in conflict, in separation, in sorrow. Then wars happen. Every war begins within each one of us in our relationships, and that is expanded. And what we are seeing happening on this earth is just a reflection of how we are living. So there is no point blaming one person on another, but really, every crisis, every sorrow is a mirror, is an invitation to look deeply within. It is a call to question deeply and to ask that impossible question. Is there a possibility of living without any conflict, without creating sorrows, sufferings for oneself and for each other? And if we are all working with ourselves, rather than finding fault or blaming others, then our inner work has started. And this is what we are doing in this workshop, working with oneself together. Because as Krishnamurti used to say, life is in a relationship. We can try to escape from relationships, from connectedness, but it is not possible. Relationship, this whole field of relationship is a huge school, a university to learn together. So what are the tools for learning, for this deep learning, which is transformative? We are not talking about a learning which is memorizing or accumulating. That has a place. We all do that in our colleges, our schools. But self-inquiry brings a learning which is rather emptying oneself, not accumulating. We have accumulated so much. knowledge, scientific, philosophical, religious, cultural, all that. We have accumulated experiences. So we are filled with things, things of the mind, things of the past, things of the world. So what is this different kind of learning? This learning, which is emptying, begins with a quiet mind. I feel if we ask this question honestly, deeply, what is the cause of most of our problems, conflicts, and suffering? The honest answer, I feel, would be a mind, a being which is not quiet, which is not still, silent. Silent not just verbally. We will go into this question, what is this deep silence or stillness? Which is not simply the absence of words. What is that quietness? Which is not an escape, which is not an isolation, but which is discovered in relationships. Relationship with oneself, with one's whole being, relationship with another. So can we, in this very moment, look inside and see if our whole being is quiet? Simply being aware, not forcing oneself. If it is not quiet, simply being aware of it, that it is not quiet. Then this quality of awareness becomes another deep aspect of this transformative learning. We believe that the only instrument we have is the thought, intellect, which is based on knowledge, on memories. So we are questioning this belief that it can solve all the problems of life, of our relationship. But we have seen it, it is unable to solve except the technical problems. So if we keep on depending on this tool of thought, we are limiting ourselves. So we are asking, what are those other tools which are not dependent on thought, which thought can never invent, mind can never invent? So what is that other tool or the other energy? Is it stillness? Is it awareness? Is it attention? Is it deep listening? listening from that space of attention, listening from a quiet mind, a quiet being. And can we all verify whatever is being shared now? Not simply think about it, but see it if listening is happening from a quiet presence. So, is the other energy, is the other tool which is unconditioned? Is it pure observation, seeing things as they are here and now? Is the other tool pure love, unconditioned love, compassion? Now, I have used all these words. How do they resonate inside each one of us? One can hear them simply as words, make some idea, but ideas are limited. Of course, they have a place, they have certain value. But can we go beyond the ideas and really feel? Yeah, even the word feel is perhaps limited. Maybe allow it to sink, sink in our hearts, in our beings. What does it mean to listen beyond the words? Even though words are being used, so can we listen not just words and their meanings, but the silence, the presence behind the words? What is the energy they are carrying? Can we be open to that? Then perhaps we may discover here and now a flame which has no smoke, a flame which is beyond all words, ideas, thoughts, beliefs. We don't have to exercise our brain too much here. We can simply check what is the quality of our presence now. Is there a sense of stillness, a quietness, a letting go of agitation, resistance, all the efforts to reach somewhere, to achieve something? Can we be simply be here and now together?